everyone, welcome to another Tagalong. This week I decided to work on the page where I left off the last Tagalong, and that's just because I wanted to do a nice project before I leave for England, so I don't have much time, have to do a lot to make the trip possible. But anyway, I am starting just on the paper itself. Didn't use gesso, as you can see. I'm just putting some gel medium through this grit stencil, and that's because I really wanted a kind of a, how do you call that, a rough, non-girly like background. I'm gonna paint a girl, of course. I'm gonna paint a girl, but I really wanted well, I don't know how to say it, but a rough background. Now, drying the gel medium, and that will help me to create a resist when I use distress inks. I'm using distress inks only in the beginning to create a quick background color-wise, and then I'm using gelatos mainly, and watercolor pencils. I'm using the colors that were on that little flap that you saw, so a bit of orange, pink. Orange is Rusty Hinge. I use Festive Berries, a little bit of red, and this picked raspberry. Started off kind of like a Halloweenish color. But you can see how pretty that looks, the background, if you use the distress inks. I'm sorry, I'm sipping some tea. I've got a dry mouth. So first I decided to skip that little part there, but I'm changing that up in the end, as I always do. So putting some heavy ink on it, and well, that's it basically. So putting everything away again, left the heart, dried it, and then started from there. And I wanted to do a kind of a follow-up on that little saying that I did the other week, and you'll see it's kind of a sad ending to that beautiful story. So you saw those stamps and they didn't stamp very well, so I just took that little rubber piece off and then stamped with that, but it didn't work in the end, so well, you can't see anything of that stamp anymore after I'm finished with it. So I'm using this large stencil just to create a little bit of more interest on the back, using the cranberry, and you know this is not water resistant, so I didn't dry it, so I knew that because I went over it with gesso, as you can see, to trace my face, and then I went in with a purple Derwent Inktense pencil. Really wanted to do kind of a well, a saddish face, closed eyes, disappointed. That's the name of the paste, disappointed. And well, you'll see what happens. I gave her a very, very boring hairdo. And I'm just drawing her face. Now it looks like she's a nun with a little cap on. And now she has a bob line. Oh, I don't know how you call that in English, but we call it a bob line. And sad, sad hair. Sorry for everyone who wears her hair like this, but it makes her, my doll, my girl, look sad. I need to say it like that without offending everyone who has that hair. Oh gosh. Sometimes you have to think about what you say, not to offend anyone. So you see, the beauty of watercolor pencils is when you take a tissue, you can undo everything you did and go in with the pencil again. I like that. So I haven't done many faces with closed eyes, so I'm struggling just a little bit on how it should look, and I'm just going with the flow. And I love the resist on her face. It creates a very nice look, a really painted look. So I'll just go on, as you can see. I left a bit more in than I usually do, and then I decided no, not that hair. So I took a tissue, and you know, because there is a resist off gel medium, you can take everything away again. So now, as I was rubbing that hair, it fell on top of her shoulder, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna work with that. So I'm just coloring her face and giving her another hairdo. A little bit of red in her face and in her hair, and do a little touch up on her eyes, as you can see. And now it starts to come together. I was thinking too much, and I just needed to do it, as you can see here. So well, just doing that. Nice nose, and she looks sad, doesn't she? That's what I intended. So, and well, then I took my little tiny Derwent Intense pen, so you can see that little stump is just nothing more than an inch, I think. So I need to really buy me a new one. I used gelatos to create a border around the page. And then I thought, not done yet. You can see the mess that I've got around me. I started with a clean desk, and then it got this messy in just a few minutes. Using clear gesso on my page, I didn't want any of the color that was already on the page to move. Didn't think of the Derwent pencil that I used, so you can see that the black on her eyes is just like run mascara. So it just runs over it, but I really like the way that looked. I just adjusted it a little bit, but I used those stripes to my advantage. So going over the words, I chose the new words. It says at daybreak I something listened, really something. I don't know. I can't. I will write it in the description box. I can't read it from the computer. Well, I was listening closely, and he said, "My apologies," and then the fire went out. So that's what it says about that. So if you have seen the first video, you know why this is there. Now you can see that I scratch with my fingers, and I really like that. It's a really messy look, but I really like the scratching and taking away the gelatos from the page. So I put on an extra layer and go in with my fingers later to scratch it all away again. Then I'm using a Posca pen to create little tiny dots on her eyelashes. I drew some eyelashes. And here I go in with a pencil, a light pencil, and it scratches away even more, revealing the white that was underneath. Look, I really like it. So if I have time, I will put everything on my blog as well, because it's now Sunday evening late while I'm editing this, and I have to do a lot because I'm going to go tomorrow to England. So I'm trying to upload it to my blog so you can see it on Tuesday. Now, creating a candle, because the candle is an important object in this story. So creating just a little bit of shading with the gelatos. I think I have not ever drawn a candle before. So it was a first, and I tried to make it look like someone was blowing against it. So using the colors to create kind of like a halo around the flame. And and then go around it with pencil again to make it look better. And then I'm almost done. I think it was enough. It said enough, and the only thing I needed to do was create the main word of today, and that was disappointment. This is not happening to me, by the way, so just saying. I create a kind of a dark circle around the candle to give an idea that there is light. Just using the pencil that was already there and just accentuating it a little bit more with the purple intense pencil, and it really brings out the background even more. So that was it, everyone. I hope you like this page, and just putting on the word, and then you'll see me next week. Bye bye, everyone. Almost. I thought the video was on in the end, but of course I'll show you the way it turned out. And now I'm gonna say bye bye, everyone, and I'll see you next week. Bye.